They laughed when he said it. "Finally getting rid of dead weight," he announced, raising his glass like a conquering general. "My retirement party, my farewell, my life's work reduced to a punchline." The laughter cut sharp, but I smiled. I stood, shook his hand. My replacement, 30 years younger, with a smirk polished enough to hide his inexperience. Cameras flashed, colleagues clapped, and I walked out, leaving behind the firm I had built, the clients I had nurtured, the reputation I had carved from nothing. But I didn't leave empty-handed. I remember the first day he arrived. Nervous, eager, stumbling over introductions. I was the one who took him under my wing, showed him the ropes. He used to thank me, call me a mentor. "One day, I hope I'll be half the man you are," he once said, eyes bright with that particular shade of ambition people mistake for admiration. I believed him. I wanted to believe him. I taught him patience, diligence, the quiet art of listening more than speaking. He took notes. He studied me. And then he sharpened those lessons into weapons. It began small. A client call missed because he thought I had it covered. An email chain where my name mysteriously vanished from credit. Jokes whispered in the break room about my age, my pace, my so-called outdated methods. I could feel the air shifting around me. Meetings where eyes glanced at him before they landed on me. His stories were too polished, his charm too slick. He had learned to mirror me, but without the weight of history, the scars, the sleepless nights. The firm began to look at me like furniture. Comfortable, yes, but replaceable. The final blow came in a board meeting. A client proposal I had worked on for weeks, presented by him. My notes stripped of my voice, repackaged in his cadence. When the contract landed, the applause was his. Afterward, he patted my shoulder. "Don't worry, you'll always be remembered." A eulogy delivered before I was even gone. That night, I poured myself a drink and stared at my reflection. Betrayal wasn't new to me. Life teaches you that trust is fragile. But this betrayal, it was surgical. And I wasn't going to respond with anger. I was going to respond with precision. I started by making calls. Quiet, private conversations with clients I had served for decades. People whose children's weddings I had attended, whose crises I had navigated at midnight, whose businesses had survived because I had answered the phone when no one else did. I didn't ask them to follow me. I didn't need to. I simply told them the truth, that I was retiring from the firm, not from the work. That I was starting something smaller, leaner, where loyalty would still mean something. They understood. Loyalty, after all, is a two-way street. I filed the paperwork, registered the new firm, hired a skeleton crew, discreet, efficient, loyal. Every step was deliberate, timed to perfection. By the time my retirement party arrived, every piece was in place. I shook his hand that night, my smile measured. He thought he had won. The firm thought they were rid of me. The office laughed at the dead weight they had shed. But Monday morning came, and the phones in that office rang hollow. Clients demanded to be redirected. Accounts froze mid-transfer. Meetings were canceled. Contracts were withdrawn. By noon, the firm realized what had happened. Every major client, every relationship that mattered was gone. Gone with me. He called me, voice trembling beneath forced bravado. "What the hell did you do?" I let the silence stretch, savoring it. "I didn't do anything," I said evenly. "I just left. They chose to follow." I could hear his breathing quicken, the cracks spreading in his confidence. He tried to threaten, to bargain, to plead. But the truth was undeniable. He had inherited an empty desk. I pictured him, sitting in the office that had once been mine, staring at phones that no longer rang, watching his reflection in the darkened screen of a computer that held no future. That was my revenge. Not a public spectacle, not a shouted accusation, just silence, loss, the weight of absence. Word spread quickly. Investors pulled back. The board whispered about leadership mistakes, poor judgment, misplaced trust. His name, once spoken with promise, became a cautionary tale. As for me, I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. Revenge is sweetest when it doesn't taste like anger, but inevitability. I built my new firm quietly. No grand announcements, no parades, just work. Clients arrived, one by one, loyal as ever. My office was smaller, my staff leaner, but the calls came, the deals closed, and the respect, that never left. At my retirement party, they laughed at me. On Monday morning, they learned. Dead weight doesn't carry you for 30 years. Dead weight doesn't build empires, save companies, or hold trust through decades of storms. Dead weight doesn't walk out smiling, already holding the future in its pocket. I gave him everything. My time, my